Hello again, everyone. Today I have a fairly quick video in my Perfect Fountain Pen Pairings series, and it involves this Retro 51, and this is a Retro 51 Lincoln. So basically the premise of these Perfect Fountain Pen Pairings videos is that it is the perfect pen, ink, and nib combination. Now, I've shown before, I've only shown a couple of these, and they've been pens that have sort of interesting nibs that are not off the shelf. They were custom nibs or something like that. But this one has an off-the-shelf offering and an ink that's fairly easy to get, and this fountain pen should still be available as far as I know. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to get a piece of paper here, and you can actually see that Retro 51 a little bit better against that white paper. So this is a sheet of Tomoe River paper that I'm going to be doing my sample on today. And some of you may have already seen this pairing on my channel before because it is one that I like a lot, and it's sort of just a serendipitous combo that just worked really well right out of the box, and I haven't changed it since, and I don't really intend to change it. So like I was saying, this is a Retro 51 in the Lincoln model, and it's basically just supposed to look a little bit like a penny because of the brushed copper look on the outside, and then the penny is obviously has Lincoln on it. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. So one of the nice things about Retro 51 fountain pens is that you can swap out the nibs fairly easily. They come standard with a Jowo number 6 nib that you can just screw out or screw off and then replace it with a different nib if you like. I've done that with one of my other Retro 51 models that I have, but this one, the medium nib that came on it, was just perfect as it was, and I didn't have to tune it or anything. And it doesn't really match the trim in that it is silver toned, but I think it still goes quite well with the nib. It just has the Retro 51 label or logo on here, which is just a circle with 51 in it. And this is obviously the older scroll work Jowo nib. And by older, they're still selling some of these, so you may encounter them, but they are switching to a just plain nib. So that's what they're going to look like. And I've mentioned this before, I put washi tape on my nib or on my pens so that I can know what size nib I have on here and what nib it is. So I just basically say number 6 medium. You know, it's not always the best aesthetic choice to have on my pens, but it does help me figure out when I'm going to go to get a pen to write with, which one I would like to select, because I have the size of the nib and the particular nib marked on most of my pens. Some of them I don't have that on. So let's go ahead and get to the writing sample. So Retro 51, they're a little bit of a novelty company, I would say. So this is a Retro 51 Lincoln. I'll stop there for a sec. Oh, with a medium nib. And this is just the stock nib that came with it. And the reason why I say they're a little bit of a novelty pen company is because they come out with so many special editions all the time. And for a while, everyone thought that they were going to be going out of business because the old family who ran it, I think they retired and they didn't want to be doing that anymore. But someone did buy the company, and so they are issuing these again. I assume it's the same manufacturing process and materials and all of that. I actually purchased this when it seemed like they were going to be going out of business because I thought I wanted, well, I only have 2 of these. This one I got because I just wanted this particular model because I thought it was really pretty, and even though it's fairly standard and should be available most times, it really does have an understated elegance that I like. And the section itself is plastic, which can be good or bad depending on your preference, but it's not super slick like the metal part would be. It still is a polished plastic, so it could be a little slick depending on how you like your pens, but it's very comfortable to hold. I usually use this unposted because the weight is very nice unposted, but you could post it. I find it just a little bit back heavy with the cap posted. But now let's get to what ink this is. So this is Pelikan Brilliant Brown. And a lot of people have said, can you have a brilliant brown? Well, I suppose you can, because here it is. But it's a perfect match, in my opinion, to the color of the pen. And the nib, it flows really nicely in this medium nib. I know some people have had, here's the bottle, I know some people have had trouble with Pelikan, especially the 4001 series of inks being very dry. I have not had that experience, at least not in this pen with this nib. I think it writes just about perfect as far as the flow is concerned for my writing style. I like things to be wet but not gushing wet, and then I don't like it to be super dry. So I was very surprised that this ink flowed really nicely, and it does not seem dry in this combo at all. So if you're thinking of trying this color or an ink in the Pelikan 4001 series, perhaps go with the Jowo nib, medium or above, and you might have a pretty good flow with that. But this was just sort of a plain Jane example of a perfect pairing for a fountain pen. This is a widely available fountain pen, widely available nib, and widely available ink. But I did want to throw some just sort of standard offerings in there as well. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you want to keep track of future videos on my channel, please subscribe. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.